In the matter of the marriage of Jason Kreuger, petitioner, and Shannon Carmichael, respondent, are they present?
Mr. Kreuger is present.
Back on March 1st of 24, Mr. Kreuger was found in contempt and ordered to pay $520 immediately, and then to continue paying, I believe, $520 a month thereafter.
There actually is a typo on that one.
Okay.
The actual hearing date was, I believe, November.
But Your Honor, the hearing in November was done by Judge Brown, who has a conflict in the case and has actually recused himself during the case as our previous judge.
The hearing was on November 22nd.
Let me pull the file up. You think that was in November of 23?
November 22 of 2024.
In going back through the documents, he was originally found in contempt March 1st of 2024. His last one set him over for today. It looks like a bond has been posted.
Yes, Your Honor. Outside of the bond from the last bench warrant, he has not made a payment since 2021. And from speaking with him today, it doesn't sound like he is really going to be making much payment. He essentially wants to disagree with the current child support amount, which, especially his income was determined by his disability amount plus the federal minimum wage as he is able to work. I explained that today is not a modification hearing, but I don't believe I would be able to get much of anywhere with him.
Mr. Kreuger.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that the court has ordered you to pay child support. If you want to challenge the amount, you need to file a motion and schedule a hearing regarding the amount of child support. Until that happens, the child support has been ordered by the court and you're responsible for it.
Your Honor, I don't know how to file a motion or do any of that legal stuff. So can you appoint me a lawyer and get this sorted out?
You're not entitled to an attorney unless we're going to put you in jail.
Well, I've been put in jail twice.
Okay. Have you talked to Kansas Legal Services?
The Kansas Legal Services gives me two answers every single time. One, they are unable to represent me because they don't have the staff. Or two, they won't represent me because they have a conflict of interest due to the fact that Shannon had retained Kansas Legal Services at the beginning of our child custody case.
Okay. And you haven't retained anybody else?
I don't have the money, Your Honor.
Ms. Harper, will you set up a hearing on the current child support obligation to review it and make sure it's correct?
You can, Your Honor. I do want to let you know that child support was actually just modified a couple of months ago. There's a DRA from Mr. Kreuger that was filed. If I can find that file date.
Your Honor, I'm currently actually not working. I'm currently looking for a job. I had to shut down my company. It was costing me too much money.
It was August of 2024, though I would again state that the income on a child support worksheet was his disability, which, as you're aware, counts as income, as well as full-time at federal minimum wage, which is the lowest that we can impute for that.
Your Honor, wouldn't my disability count as income? If my disability counts as income and my disability is above federal minimum wage, shouldn't my disability be used in place of the federal minimum wage?
Ms. Harper?
Your Honor, he is able to work full-time. There's no reason why he wouldn't be able to obtain an employment.
Your Honor, but the thing is if I'm making above federal minimum wage, if I choose to be employed or not, that be my decision.
Well, if you're able to work, you should be working because you have a child support obligation.
Yes, I know, but
it's not your decision when you have an obligation to support a child.
Yes, but if that's the case, then
we will set this up for a hearing. Okay. Jess, how quick can we get this set aside with sufficient time to do this?
Judge, how much time do you need?
I would anticipate an hour.
You have time next Friday morning, the 21st.
Does that work, Ms. Harper?
It would work for me, Your Honor, though I'm not sure if we could give notice to the mother in time for her to appear.
Okay. You have something in around 10 days?
The 24th, you have time at 10 a.m. But then beyond that, it'll be a little while.
I can't do the 24th, Your Honor. I have an obligation that day.
Judge, the reason why I want to ensure the mother can appear, when I spoke with her, she did have some
Objection,
statements
Your
and
Honor. If she's speaking to the
allegations
mother, she
regarding
doesn't
whether
speak
or
to
not-
Mr. Kreuger, Mr. Kreuger, do not just interrupt. You say objection and then we stop. Don't start arguing.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay. She's not giving testimony from the respondent. She's simply explaining why she wants her present. Go ahead, Ms. Harper.
The mother believed that he may have some additional income in the form of such as rental properties. Obviously, that's not information I would have. It wasn't included on the mod, but if we're going to be discussing his income, I'd like her to have the chance to inform me of that.
Do you have a phone number for her?
I do, Your Honor.
Believe so. We have a phone number for her. Yes, I will tell you that I haven't tried to call it recently, but I don't have anything that would indicate it's no longer.
Why
a
don't
good-
you, shut off your audio, give her a call and see if she's available next Friday.
Yes, sir. Judge, I attempted to call her twice. I left a voicemail, but she did not answer either time. If I can make a recommendation, I'd say maybe we set this next Friday. And then I can continue to attempt to reach out to her.
Your Honor, may I put in a word?
Yes,
She has informed me that she's working until 1 o'clock and will not have her phone on her. So if you try to call her after 1 o'clock today.
yes, let's go ahead and set it next Friday.
Does 9 o'clock work for everyone?
Yes, that works for me.
What is next Friday?
The 21st,
Yeah, that should work for me.
and we have a bond posted.
Yes, we do.
Yes. There's a $520 bond. Now DCF is going to request it be applied towards arrears. I believe Mr. Kreuger is objecting to that.
Why
I
are you-
am.
Why are you objecting to that?
Because I'm currently not working, I have no income, and I had to borrow the money, and I gotta give that money back to that person.
Well, that's between you and that person.
But they're also going to allow me to use, I talked to them yesterday, they said they're going to actually allow me to use that to get my license reinstated because my license is suspended. So if my license is suspended, then I definitely can't work.
What's the amount of arrearage right now?
The arrearage is $13,567.
Mr. Kreuger, are you denying that you owe 13,000?
No, I'm not denying that I don't owe anything, Your Honor. I know I do owe something, but I know that from October 15th of 2021 till February 14th of 2024, 2023, I was incarcerated that entire time and was unable to work or do anything. I was not even allowed, I couldn't even have contact with him, see him, or anything during that period. After I got out of jail, she filed a motion for sole custody for 7 months, Your Honor, and only allowed me one 5-minute phone call every month, which turned into an arguing match with her on the
Okay,
phone.
Mr. Kreuger, child support has nothing to do with parental visitation time.
I understand that, Your Honor, but
Are you
but-
denying you owe the child support?
I'm not denying that I owe some child support, Your Honor, but I would like to discuss it down to a more reasonable amount and discuss it down to a more affordable amount that I can be able to pay every month to be able to get this caught up.
We're gonna hold the bond. We're not gonna release the bond to you. We're gonna hold it and deal with it next Friday.
Your Honor, how am I supposed to get my license reinstated then?
Mr. Kreuger, the bond was to be used for child support. I will give you time next Friday to argue that, but between now and next Friday, we're going to hold that bond. And then I will hear your argument as to why it should not be applied towards your past due child support.
Your Honor, I need the money today so that way I can get my license reinstated today, or else I'm not going to be able to make it to my compensation and pension appointment tomorrow. And if I don't make it to my compensation and pension tomorrow, I'm going to lose my VA disability. Which means that I'm going to lose the $22,000 and the only thing I have to live off of. I've already lost.
I thought you had borrowed this money to pay the bond.
I had, but the person I borrowed it from, I informed them that my license is suspended and I needed the money for this, and they're going to allow me to use it to pay off that, so that way I can get my license reinstated and then figure it out from there. And then I'll pay them the $520.
How does your license reinstatement apply to your VA benefits?
Because if I can't drive to my appointment tomorrow in Barton County, then if I miss my compensation and pension appointment, then they will revoke my VA benefits.
You can't find a ride?
No, Your Honor, my mom is in Elkhart and my dad is out of town in Wichita.
Don't you have a friend who can give you a ride?
I don't have friends. I don't really talk to anybody, Your Honor. I stay at home behind locked doors. I don't go out unless I got a job that I do, and I do very minimal talking or discussing with anybody.
Ms. Harper.
Well, here, he states that he has the appointment tomorrow. He knew that he had the appointment tomorrow. And yet he is just now looking at getting his license reinstated.
I didn't find out my license was.
He hasn't made basically any child support outside of a bond amount since 2021, even when he was employed and when he had a business.
Well, Your Honor, I didn't make a.
Mr. Kreuger, when Ms. Harper finishes speaking, then you can speak. Go ahead, Ms. Harper.
At the last hearing, he was told that he needed to make payments towards child support, and yet still hasn't paid even a single cent towards the child support amount. If everything he's saying is true, then yes, I can feel slightly bad for him, but ultimately, these children have not had any support from him recently at all. And if it seems like a bond is the only way that we can get any support for the children from him. So I'm reluctant to release it under this urgency of, well, I have to get it today because today I have to get my license reinstated in order for it to be reinstated for tomorrow that I suddenly have an emergency appointment for.
Your Honor, I didn't find out my license was suspended until Wednesday. I have the paperwork sitting right here for my arrest on Wednesday night when I was driving home and was pulled over about a mile from my house, saying my license is suspended. I called them. My court date for that is on the 24th of February. That's my obligation that I have.
Mr. Kreuger, you'll need to find a ride to your center. I'm not going to release the bond. I'm not going to forfeit it at this moment. We will take it up next Friday, but I'm not releasing the bond back to you. You'll need to find a ride to your appointment. Anything further today, Ms. Harper? On Mr. Kreuger's case?
So we are also going to take up anything regarding the contempt next Friday as well, correct?
We will take up the contempt. We will take up the bond issue. We will take up the amount that he should be paying in his child support.
All right, yes, sir. Nothing further on this case.
So, Mr. Kreuger, you need to be prepared on all three of those issues next Friday.
Okay, what do I need to do?
You need to be prepared.
I have
In the
no idea.
hearing, we're going to take up the issue of contempt, whether or not you're in contempt of court for failing to pay your child support. We're going to take up the issue of your child support, as in what is your income? What is Ms. Carmichael's income, and make sure that we've got the right amount of child support ordered. And we're going to take up the issue of forfeiting the bond to pay past child support.
Okay, well, Your Honor, I don't know how to file motions or, really, prepare for anything in court.
Be prepared to discuss your income. Be prepared to show proof of your income, all sources of income that you have.
Well, I only have one source of income, Your Honor.
Okay. And Ms. Harper, we also want to nail down next Friday the actual amount of arrearage so that we have a set figure.
Your
Yes,
Honor,
sir.
Your Honor, is there a way that we can get Shannon Costas's tax returns before then?
Ms. Harper will talk to Ms. Carmichael about her income and proof of income. But the way the child support guidelines work, your support is mostly based on your income more so than her income. So it's your income that you need to be focusing on.
Well, I can tell you how much my monthly income is.
Well, we'll take that up next Friday.
Okay,
And make sure you have proof of your income.
I will.
Okay. There being nothing further, Ms. Harper, will you do a journal entry from today?
Yes, Your Honor. And we will request a certified arrears calc, which should hopefully be done by Friday.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Kreuger, you're free to go today. Be back for hearing next Friday. Are we doing that in person or by Zoom?
In person, Your Honor, all of us.
And Your Honor, I would prefer either by Zoom or that we set it for a later time. As you know, I'm driving quite a distance.
Your Honor, in person next Friday.
Mr. Kreuger. Ms. Harper, you're coming out of where next Friday?
Next Friday will be Hutchinson.
Okay. Jess, do we have a later time slot?
Ms. Harper, would 11 o'clock work for you?
Yes, 11 o'clock should work.
That work for you, Mr. Kreuger?
Yes.
Okay, we will do next Friday, February 21st, 11 o'clock in person.
All right, I'll be there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.